there's a lot of programs out there that are kind of like
break the cycle.
It's about prevention,
break those cycles.
And that's to change the cycle and show children that we can make a difference. I'm grateful that you have programs like this. When we read the pamphlets initially, your name came up on the list of organizations, and I let's give it to this. For whatever reason, it just caught my attention. It said, helping kids harming at home. And unfortunately, a lot of us come from areas where there is no harmony at home. Not because we have bad parents, but because they're spending all their time trying to make money to feed us, and we have no outlet but to go to the streets. And in the streets, whether you're being bullied or you're being involved in gangs or you're the bully, it's all negativity. And that's what I'm grateful that you have programs like yours. If we would have had programs like that, I may not have ended up in prison.
The thing that we all needed was just programs that many of us came to prison at a young age. I got arrested at 14 and came to prison at 16, and I pretty much grew up in prison too. So that whole my teenage years and throughout my 20s, I didn't understand how to handle my emotions properly, and so I lashed out. I was just being real destructive, destructing anything in my path. So moving forward, we have all these programs that are starting to come to light now.
You gotta catch kids when they're young, and because that's where, when they're really young, that's where they're developing their values, right, their principles and whatnot. I wish I didn't discover my moral compass until I came to prison. Unfortunately, when I was young, my morals were in disarray. They were all over the place, and I really wish I had more positive examples when I was younger that I could have grabbed onto. Because like Domingo said, I feel now like I did so much harm in my community that now that I'm able to give back, that makes me feel so much. It's like healing for me. Now I'm able to put some positive stuff in the positive column instead of just all the negativity I did. It's a way for me to give back and make up for my past mistakes. So, and the fact that your group really tries to help kids and catch them at such a young age, especially in our communities is just no violence. Like you said, we grew up very machismo. That's all we know is machismo. Not to show feelings, emotions, and bottle that stuff up inside. And then when we do release it, unfortunately, we release it in very negative, violent ways. And the fact that your group is trying to break those cycles is, I think, in the long run, it's going to help them with their future. Yeah.
So back then I used to think groups like this wasn't cool, but now I wish I did have a group to go to, like Harmony at Home, and to actually surround myself with people that's trying to help me do better and not lead my life into the streets, because all the street life do is lead you to prison or death maybe. But at the same time, it's always about making that choice yourself and wanting to change. And I think a group like Harmony at Home is going to help a lot of children.
When you're growing up as a child, especially in our communities, we're told, man up, don't feel, so we bottle everything up. So when something happens now in society, kids are just going a whole different way. It's just kids are getting bullied, they're going to schools, and they're murdering a bunch of kids and people. And that's wrong, And what our hope is that your programs, through programs like yourself that you have, those kids are learned to understand that they're worth something, that they're not worthless, that even regardless of what their peers may think or bully them, or whether they come from a broken home or anything like that, that they can make something of themselves in life. And it's unfortunate that a lot of us had to come to prison to understand what it means to have community. I mean, I came from a great home. My parents were great. They were hardworking and everything, but unfortunately I didn't have the structure around me to where I can go to for support. There was nothing like that. Instead, I went to a gang, and then that became a cycle of my life to where I ended up in prison at the age of 17. And then once I got here, like Hayes said, I grew up in prison. It was violence and violence and violence. That was it.
It's about prevention, stopping everything from happening, because a lot of times we get to prison and then we're finally realizing, in our 20s and 30s, oh, we have a problem now, when we should have been recognizing this stuff a long time ago. And a lot of us just didn't have that support or that those role models out there to point all this stuff out to us.
I mean, personally, I think you're doing a great job. If it wasn't for organizations like yours, there'd probably be more kids in prison. And there was nothing like that in our neighborhood, period. There just wasn't.
Some of us have children, and I think as a parent, we all want to see the best for our children.
It's about the kids, and I think that if we continue to push these programs here and on the streets, I think that we could, you're never going to curb the whole prison population, or you're never going to change the world like that, but you can change the community, and that's our goal. And we thank House of Harmony, or Harmony at Home. And
I like that house harmony.
Harmony at Home. But, unfortunately it wasn't there for me. And hopefully it'll be there for the next children. So thank you very much.